All right, let's jump right in. We're all pretty familiar with AI by now, right? You know, the kind that can chat with you or whip up an image from a simple prompt. But what's coming next is, well, it's a whole different ballgame. We're not just talking about AI that answers questions anymore. We're talking about AI that gets things done. This is a huge leap in what automation can be.
And to really get our heads around this, we're not going to start with some giant tech company. No, our story starts with a guy named Solius. He was a prolific Google Maps reviewer, just a hobby really, writing super detailed reviews of places he'd visit. And turns out, hidden inside that hobby was a massive business opportunity just waiting to be found. So Solius started noticing this pattern. Every once in a while, a business owner would actually reply to one of his reviews with a personal thank you. And he realized, wait a second, this isn't just a notification. This is a super high-intense signal. It's a warm lead hiding in plain sight, coming from someone who already gets the value of his work.
But, and this is a big but, there was a major problem: scale. Trying to act on every single one of these emails was an absolute grind. You had to spot the email, dig up the original review you wrote, go hunting on LinkedIn for the right person to contact, make a custom video for them, write the perfect email. I mean, it was just a crazy amount of manual work.
So the million-dollar question becomes, how do you take this brilliant but totally unscalable idea and turn it into something that can run on its own? Well, the answer is a really powerful new approach to AI called Agentic AI.
Now, this is not your typical chatbot. A chatbot just sits there and waits for you to ask a question. An AI agent is totally different. You give it a goal, it figures out the objective, it creates its own multi-step plan, and then it actually goes out and executes that plan. It's a problem solver that gets stuff done.
Okay, so let's peek under the hood and see how these things actually think. It all comes down to this really simple but incredibly powerful loop that drives every single thing they do.
It really just boils down to a continuous three-step cycle. And this simple framework is what makes it a truly autonomous system, not just another fancy script.
It all starts here. The agent perceives its environment, then it reasons about what it's seeing, and finally, it acts. And this loop just runs over and over, which lets it adapt to new information in real time. So first up, in Solius's case, the agent perceives. Think of it like a security guard for his inbox. It's constantly watching, and its one and only job at this stage is to spot that specific high-value signal, the thank you email from a business owner. Next, here comes the really clever part. It reasons. The agent doesn't just see the email. It reads it, it understands it. It uses natural language processing to figure out the email's temperature. Is this a real person writing a heartfelt reply, or is it just some generic automated template? And based on that analysis, it sorts every lead into a tier. Hot leads are the jackpot: personal, enthusiastic, amazing. Warm leads are good, but a bit generic. And cold leads are probably just automated replies. This lets the agent focus all its energy where it matters most. And finally, based on all that thinking, it acts. If a lead gets tagged as hot, the agent kicks off its most powerful move. It automatically generates a custom, hyper-personalized video and drafts the perfect follow-up email, all ready to go to that high-priority contact. Now, Solius's story is the perfect example of a much, much bigger trend. This whole agentic approach is starting to completely reshape how businesses work, and it's happening on a massive scale. It's a huge shift that was even highlighted in Google Cloud's recent trends report. For example, take a look at the telecom giant TELUS. We're not talking about some tiny experiment here. Over 57,000 of their employees are already using AI agents to help them be more productive. And the results are just staggering. They're saving, on average, 40 minutes every single time a task gets handed off to an agent. Now, just stop and think about that. Multiply 40 minutes by tens of thousands of employees. We're talking about millions of hours being freed up for more important creative work. And it's not just for administrative stuff either. At Suzano, the world's biggest pulp manufacturer, they have an AI agent that can turn a simple question in plain English into a super complex database query. This one thing cut the time it takes to get critical data by 95%. That is a total game changer for making fast decisions. So you might be asking, why is this all happening right now? Well, a huge part of the answer is that the agents themselves have this incredible new set of tools to play with. When it's time for them to act, they can call on a whole army of other specialized AIs. So back to Soleus's agent. When it decides it needs to create a video, it doesn't have to know how to edit video itself. Nope. It just makes a call, it's called an API call, to a state-of-the-art AI video generator, gives it a detailed prompt, and boom, a finished video comes back. And this whole ecosystem of tools is evolving at a ridiculous speed. I mean, we're already seeing models like Luma AI's Ray 3 hitting 4K resolution for less than $10 a month. At the same time, OpenAI's Sora is pushing to create longer and longer video clips. The tools are getting way more powerful, and the price is staying super accessible. And the quality is getting seriously impressive. As Johnny Elwin, a video post-production pro, pointed out recently, the top models from places like Luma AI and Kling are already good enough to be used in a professional setting. This isn't just a toy anymore. Okay, so we've looked at the idea, we've seen the real-world impact, we've seen the tools that power it all. So what's the big takeaway here? What does the rise of agentic AI actually mean for us and the future of work? I think the most crucial thing to remember is that this tech is here, right now, and it's really good at automating complexity. But this isn't about replacing people, it's about augmenting them. It lets us humans shift our focus away from the repetitive, manual execution and toward higher-level strategy, creativity, and big-picture thinking, making those uniquely human skills more valuable than ever. You know, it really marks a fundamental change in how we work with technology. We're moving from a world where we ask an AI a question to one where we give an AI a job. And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. If you could give an AI agent one complex, multi-step task to handle for you, what would it be?